I'm going to do is distal femur. I'm going to use my 14 by 17 cassette. If I was laying down, I would use it diagonally, and if I was standing up, I would just use it lengthwise. I'm going to do it laying down. I would tell my patient, don't breathe, don't move. I would have the proper gowning, and I would shield anything that needed to be shielded. So for distal femur, you want to collimate from the knee joint to the distal femur, so we'll say mid femur, and you want your central ray to be pointed directly at the distal femur, the middle of the femur shaft. Still laying down, I will put my box diagonally. This is AP. I will put my 14 by 17 AP. This is my right leg, so I will be putting my right marker.
Alright, so we're going to do lateral distal femur. I'm going to lay down while doing mine. I have my right marker because I'm going to be doing my right leg. My 14 by 17 cassette diagonally. I would tell the patient, you know, before I leave out, don't breathe, don't move. I would change to a fresh image receptor after I take each view. And then collimation is the same. It is going to be knee to distal femur. And I'm shooting the x-ray, the central ray at mid-distal femur. Laterally, patient would lay with this leg in front, this in back. We want to bend the knee just a little bit, and patient would be laying flat. Collimate from here to here, central ray shooting directly at mid-femur. Mid-distal femur. Next view is AP hip. I'm going to be laying down again. I will be using my right hip, so I have my right marker. I would put in any open space that I have. 10 by 12 cassette now, and the patient is going to be lying supine. I am going to internally rotate the right leg to 15. I would put the image receptor under the patient's hip. They would be lying supine. I am collimating from mid-femur, mid-proximal femur to iliac crest, and I'm shooting the central ray about 1.5 to 2 inches below the ASIS. So this one I think was one over and 2 down, 1 over and 3 down. So from the ASIS, and the patient is lying supine, I would tell them don't breathe, don't move. I would have the proper shielding, and that's it. So for this next hip one, I'm gonna do frog leg. I would do it laying down. My patient would be laying down. I'm still gonna use my 10 by 12 cassette, and I tell the patient don't breathe, don't move. I'm doing the right hip. So frog leg, you want the patient's toes to be touching almost the other leg's knee. You want it to be fully abducted. Patient laying supine, I would put my 10 by 12 cassette under that hip. Right marker in an open field space. So for collimation, and the patient is laying supine, but for collimation, we want to have the same thing. We want to have mid-proximal femur all the way to the top of the ilium. And for the central ray, we want to start at it was very different. A lot of people said different things. So the bisecting point from your ASIS and your pubic symphysis, which is like right here, and then you want to go 3 down from this. 1, 2, 3, and so it's like right here on the hip, and their patient is laying supine, and you want to make sure your point is midway between that mid-proximal and that iliac crest. So central ray. So also for this one, I've heard different things. I actually just took x-rays in clinic, and it was the central ray needed to be 2 inches below the ASIS, but I read here in the PowerPoints that it should be 2 inches below the pubic symphysis. So I'm gonna do this one actually standing, and pelvis is done on a 14 by 17, and it's gonna be crosswise. and you would just put whatever side that patient is. So I'm gonna just put the right side. Okay, and then patient would stand up. They would internally rotate their feet 15 degrees. 15 degrees. My central ray, I wanted to shoot mid ASISs. So ASIS, and you try to find the middle and shoot there and go down too, and you would shoot there. You want to collimate, you want to have both iliums, and from the top of the iliac crest to the bottom of the pelvis. So for this next one is a pelvic outlet. So this is a pelvic inlet and outlet. So the patient would be laying supine for pelvic inlet, and unlike a pelvic outlet where there are two different tube angles, for pelvic inlet there is only one, and it's 45 degrees caudal, so facing down. You are still using your 10 by 12 cassette. You are using your 10 by 12 cassette, and 10 by 12 cassette, and you're using your right marker on whatever side you're gonna mark, which is gonna be my right. So you would put it under the patient. You are laying supine, and there is a caudal angle, so it'll be above you. It'll be above the patient. Like the central, the x-ray machine will be like at face level of the patient, angled 45 degrees caudally, and you want the central ray to be shot 2 inches below the pubic symphysis. And for pelvic outlet, so for women you have a 30-degree cephalad angle, or for men you have a 20-degree cephalic angle, and you are coming from this way now, and you still want to shoot 2 inches below the pubic symphysis. And the patient is laying supine. There is no true rotation of the feet. You would tell the patient, don't breathe, don't move. You would gown them. You would gown them. You really can't shield with this because you want to get the pelvis. So this last one is the Judette method. I'm going to do my right side, so it's going to be an internal oblique for the right. I'm going to use this to keep this side leveled up, so I can be at an oblique angle. I will be laying on my side. I am using a 10 by 12 cassette. I want to be at 45 degrees from the table. I'm using 10 by 12 cassette, boom, and I want my right side is up, so I put my marker somewhere in an open field space. I am collimating from, I would say, the top of the ilium to almost proximal femur. You would tell the patient, don't breathe, don't move. The central ray is being shot at, and the central ray for the Judette method is being shot at the acetabulum of that right hip. And you would have the patient gowned.